Welcome to the Casey Ingram Show, where we break down the headlines, ask the tough questions, and bring you real conversations that matter right here on the Treasure Coast and beyond. If you like the show, be sure to click the subscribe button. I'm Casey Ingram. Let's get into it. The Everglades Animals Coalition is a nonprofit organization that aims to address the dire situation in the Everglades and surrounding areas where companion animals are being dumped at an alarming rate and left to suffer. Every week, new dogs and cats show up in common feeding areas in this very inhospitable terrain. In addition to being dumped, many animals are unofficially, I should say, adopted by local landowners who feed the animals but cannot spend the funds to spay and neuter these animals or provide basic veterinary care, allowing them to roam freely and contribute to breeding more strays. Today, I have one of the founding board members of the Everglades Animals Coalition, in which I proudly also serve on the board with her. Thalia Heziotis is the founder and president of Cold Noses Foundation and Cold Noses Sanctuary. This organization is dedicated to rescuing and supporting animals in need. She began her career in pet care, developing expertise in animal behavior, and went on to create Cold Noses to fund small rescue groups worldwide and provide sanctuary for special needs and at-risk animals. So, welcome to the show, Thalia, and I appreciate you joining me here on this Sunday afternoon. Can you tell us a little bit about the Everglades Animals Coalition and why it was founded?
Sure. Thank you, Casey, for having us. So actually, the way it was founded was, or I should say, the reason it was founded was my mom, who's also a board member on the Everglades Animals Coalition. We call it EAC for short. She lives in Florida, and she had seen an article about abandoned dogs in the Everglades. Because we already had the Cold Noses Foundation, she asked if we could do something about it. So I called up Barbara Birdsey from the Pegasus Foundation, who is another board member of ours, and we discussed ways we could help. And we just knew we had to do something because the dogs and cats being sort of abandoned out there, literally people drive up, open their car doors, throw them out, keep driving, and the animals will follow them for a little bit. And to see that over and over again, it's just, and nothing's being done. So we knew we had to step in and try to form a coalition to get the word out more than anything.
And Thalia, it just breaks your heart. I mean, these animals, this is a very, as it said in the introduction, a very inhospitable environment. It's, we've got alligators down there. It is Alligator Alley after all. And
Yeah.
you're right. There's a ton of predators out there for these poor defenseless dogs who are not used to being wild or having to fend for themselves. This is a huge organization. And just real briefly, I've done a show previously and I had Nayla's Rescue on here. We're able to, one of those rescues that you help is able to kind of rehabilitate these dogs and then move them up north where many people are waiting to adopt dogs. It's really an incredible feat, but it takes money and time to do this, right?
Oh yeah. So the way we're set up is we fund what we call the boots on the ground rescues, NALAs, pet orphans, various rescues, and we're always looking for new rescues to help fund because really the people down there doing the work are literally in there every day feeding these animals at feeding stations. The ones they can't catch or don't have room to keep, they're continuing to provide food and water. So then they have to, the ones they can catch, or if any are hurt, we'll provide the funding for that. So we'll provide the funding for them to care for, the medical care for these animals, the rehab. Oftentimes they have tick-borne diseases, heartworm. They're in pretty rough shape. We've had some with broken bones and some don't survive, but the ones that do, we provide the medical care and then all the health certificates. And then people on the ground have to then transport them, set up transports, usually up north along the East Coast. That tends to be where most of the animals are able to be adopted successfully. And we do transport or fund transports for dogs and cats. And it really does take a village. I know that's a cliche, but it takes all the boots on the ground, the various rescuers, and a ton of money because we don't shy away from the more expensive medical cases. We had a dog, Oreo. We found him left in a ditch for 2 days. Somebody had called anonymously and said, we saw him get hit, but we don't want to do anything about it, or we can't do anything about it. And we sent a rescuer there who went and helped. And that dog was thousands of dollars of care, but now is a happy, healthy dog. So it does take a lot of money, a lot of resources, a lot of time.
It does. And obviously the animals cannot raise those resources themselves. And thank goodness
Good.
You and Barbara Birdsey and your mom had the vision to put this together. So again, this is the Everglades Animals Coalition. You can look up more information about it online, evergladesanimalscoalition.org. But Thalia, it's really an important position we're opening and looking for right now, and that is an executive director, because this is a new 501c3, not a
Mhm.
brand new idea, but a new 501c3. And we really want to get out there, spread the word that we're here to help organizations rescue these dogs and put them into forever homes. And also, the other part of it is fundraising. We need somebody out there who
Mhm.
can help us fundraise so that we can help even more animals. So there is a search for an executive director. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, right now, so you're correct. We just became a 501c3. We have, like I said, when Barbara and I started this, both have our own foundations and we worked through those to fund this, but it's become bigger than us. And so we actually, that was about 12 years ago when we started the EAC, but now we have so many animals that we're helping every month that we really needed to branch out. So we became a 501c3. We are officially looking for an executive director who can oversee the relationships with our rescues, but also reach out to potential funders and really just help us establish some really good, sort of, I guess, to become really well known. We want to become sort of a known face down throughout Florida. It's not just Miami, it's all the way up through the Everglades corridor that we work. So we really need someone who can kind of tie it all together. Barbara and I are kind of busy with our other organizations, and neither of us are always local.
Right.
And so it would be great to have somebody who's local. Right now, we're happy to have someone part time to kind of help us guide us a little bit. And with the board behind them, we can probably get a lot of work done, make a lot of really great connections. So, somebody who's got some experience with, I would say, outreach, philanthropy, but also what it takes to do rescue. So it's a special person we're looking for, and we realize that,
Really want somebody at the
and it would lead to full time
okay.
eventually.
When you say part time, how about how many hours a week?
We're saying a few days a week. You can work from home. Ideally, you're local-ish in the Florida area, so that when we do have events, you can reach out to the local businesses, and you can be on the ground with the rescues when transports happen every month. So I would say maybe 30 hours a week, something like that,
Okay.
to that effect. And you could work from home. You just need a computer. And with this day and age, it's so easy to be able to make connections. I'm in Wisconsin right now and we're talking, and you're in
Right,
Florida.
exactly, exactly.
Um,
Technology makes it easy. So really
yeah,
just that person that, is familiar with the rescue operations,
right.
rescue cats and dogs, that person that has some connections in the community that can also help with the fundraising aspect of it. So if you're a person that, you're a people person, you're an animal lover, that's what
Exactly.
we're looking for, right?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I think a people person is great. It's hard in this field to find someone that is both people and animal oriented. It's not impossible that we're out
Right,
there, I think,
right.
but yeah, that's
And how do
key.
they apply?
They can actually just email us, which actually the best way is to email me at Thalia at coldnosesfoundation.org, or you can go right onto our website and contact us through the website,
Okay.
which is Everglades Animals Coalition.
Well, this is a really exciting opportunity, folks, for somebody that really wants to help a fairly new 501c3 nonprofit here to get on its feet. You can kind of make a name for yourself as well, or maybe you already have a name and just want to bring your skill to the table and help this wonderful organization expand. And if you have a passion for helping the helpless and the voiceless and to help save animals, and again you're also that people person, please give us a call, look into this awesome opportunity. It really is. If I had more time, I would be jumping on board for this position.
Mm.
So I really hope that we get some applications out there. This position is open right now, and you're looking to fill it as soon as possible, right?
Yep. Yep. We've all got our hands pretty full, so I think that we're pretty eager, but it has to be the right person. And, I do think it is a really fun opportunity. It's truly working on both sides of the coin. You're working with the rescuers, talking with them, sort of making sure that they have what they need from us, and also working with just the general public and making sure they see what's going on. It's really important. the key to you'd be kind of the missing puzzle piece is what we need. That's what we're
Will
looking
this
for.
person be responsible for coordinating events, maybe, larger
Yep.
fundraising events?
So we'll help. Obviously, as board, we do a lot of that right now ourselves, but we're just because it's all of us sort of working together, we're all spread a little thin. So we would certainly be the sort of support team behind this person, but this person would be ideally the leader, help plan these events, go make the introductions with various venues. And that's why it's important, I think, that this person is local somewhat, because that's where it will really be key for us, making, those relationships with the local venues and businesses. That'll help a lot.
And because we're dealing with the Everglades, when you say local, probably ideally would be South Florida.
Yeah, South Florida, South Central, I guess I would say. But yeah, anywhere really along the Everglades corridor. But really, too, as long as you're comfortable driving, I guess I would say if you're comfortable driving an hour, then if you're an hour from sort of the Boca ish line, as well as we do a lot of work in Okeechobee. So really anywhere along that sort of
Corridor.
corridor.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, Thalia, thank you so much today. You just gave us a great brief overview of the organization as well as the wonderful executive director position. Obviously, pay will be commensurate with experience. So just go ahead and again, email Thalia. I'll make sure that that email address is attached with this video. The website, evergladesanimalscoalition.org. Accepting resumes right now. So we hope to hear from some more folks. But Thalia, thank you. I know you're busy and she's off camera, by the way, because she's been working her tail off already this morning with all the animals.
Yeah, sorry. Probably better to better to provide a little more well-groomed picture than
But
as I
you're
am. Yeah.
definitely not a board member that sits on her hands.
Nope, nope, not me. I don't
All
like.
right. Well, we know you're busy, Thalia. Thank you so much. And folks, don't forget to follow The Casey Ingram Show on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube for more real talk you won't hear anywhere else. I'm Casey Ingram. Stay informed, stay engaged, and I'll see you on the next episode.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Thalia.